ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय। शिवजी सदा सहाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। Guruji Sada Sahai. Sangatji, I'm here to recite another satsang from the Light of Divinity. Today is day 5 and I'm starting. God sitting amongst us. There was a time when temples, places of pilgrimage, idol worship, rituals, and astrology, a belief in omens, all had a meaning. They have become meaningless to me ever since I met Guruji. How blessed we were to be with our Guruji. Guruji is not a magician or a priest or a Swami. He is God, just sitting here amongst us, making our lives easier and happier by the day. My experiences prove my faith and extremely strong belief in him. As a devotee, I connected with Guruji the first day I met him. I got married with Guruji's blessings in November 2000. Soon after my wedding, Guruji started telling me that he would bless me with a son. My husband and I would never take too much interest in that repetitive line of Guruji. Ek munda lele, take one son. And he kept saying this from November 2000 to July 2003. On July 7th, the very auspicious day of Guruji's birthday, there was a huge Sangat at the Bari Mandir where we all sat and cherished his divine company till 3:30 a.m. That's when he called me and told me that he had blessed me with a son. We took leave and left the temple, again not paying attention to what Guruji had said. 1 week later, on 13th July 2003, it was Guru Purnima, and I went to Guruji with my mother in law. Guruji has no secrets with anyone. He talks aloud to each and every one. But that day, just as I touched his feet to take leave, he beckoned me closer to him and whispered in my ears that I was pregnant and that I should not reveal it to anyone. Yet I did. I came back home and gave the news to my husband. He ignored it and said that I believed in Guruji too much. However, I waited till I could find out medically if I was pregnant or not. Sure enough, on August 1st, my pregnancy test was positive. Guruji's blessings had come true. Now, here is where the catch is. As humans, we lose patience and fall in our own estimation. Because if we want something from Guruji, it has to be now. But look at my case. Guruji had been telling me for 3 long years to get blessed with a child, but had not even questioned or let the thought cross my mind that if he has been saying it for so long, why doesn't it happen? We have the power to see till the wall, whereas Guruji has the power to see way beyond. He knows when the time is right for anything, and that is when he was going to make it happen. No priest or saint or magician has the power to create life, and that is exactly what Guruji did for me. And sure enough, I gave birth to a baby boy, no doubt about that. In fact, for my husband and I, it would not have been possible to have a family without medical treatment, but Guruji made it happen without any difficulty. Each devotee has to repeat only one line on the line of a Shabad with 100% devotion for days, months, and maybe sometimes years for a particular reason to hammer on one spot again and again so that the door breaks open, and it does. Satsang of a devotee. Sangaji, the name is not mentioned, but this is one of the devotees' satsang. So we move on to the next satsang. 6 years after marriage, I conceived. I had been married for quite some time, yet we had not been able to have a child. My husband was taking medical treatment, but the first clear improvement came soon after we met Guruji in January 1994. My husband's condition improved by 20%. Excuse me, Sangaji. Subsequently, Guruji blessed us with a child, but also warned us that I would have a problem with my tubes. My tubes, uterus, and hormones were checked and found to be normal. The following year, I conceived. Keeping in mind Guruji's prediction, I had my gynecologist ask the ultrasound specialist to check me for any tubular pregnancy. He did not detect it in the uterus. But during subsequent checkups, he found the baby was not growing at the required rate and advised a DNC. 10 days after the DNC, I had a severe stomachache. I was rushed to the gynecologist who discovered that I had a tubular pregnancy and that the tube had ruptured. I lost a tube and the other one got partially blocked. But with Guruji's blessings, I conceived in 2000, 6 years after my marriage, and was blessed with a beautiful girl. My labor pains began at 5 a.m., and by noon I was in full labor, but the child had not turned. This was a cesarean case. It was also discovered that the umbilical cord was wrapped around the infant's neck. We asked Guruji how to proceed and were about to wait. At about 9 at night, the baby turned and I had a normal delivery. Everything went off well thanks to Guruji's blessings. It's a miracle only he could have pulled off, and I thank him from the bottom of my heart for it. Sangatji, this is also a satsang of a devotee where the name is not mentioned. And so I move on to the next satsang. Like the sun rising suddenly on a sodden landscape, it is not within my capacity or competence to put into words the supremacy of my Guru, for how can I do justice in cold words to his colossal divinity? However, in a sincere tribute of love and reverence for my Guru, I share my experience of supreme blessings with his approval. The path we seek is not different from the summit of salvation, the purpose of our being. The journey from seeking to reaching this summit is a cinch for those who entrust their reins in the hands of their Guru. For we are not pathfinders, but followers. I was born into a Jat Sikh family. My family had, to its credit, happiness, tasteful living, good education, and discipline. Throughout my childhood, I have always been influenced by my grandfather, a devout follower of his faith and of his master. Slowly, the import of finding a guru dawned on me. I was married into a Jat Silk family. My husband, the only son after three daughters in his family, was brought up with a lot of affection, which he seemed to have taken for granted. He learned to have his way, to his negligence towards family and lack of responsibility towards himself can perhaps be attributed his fondness for alcohol, his major problem. It is a dream of every girl to be happily married, and I was no exception. But when a family is haunted with alcoholism, nothing is any longer in anyone's control, and worldly fetters and problems become insurmountable. The burden of responsibility and unhappiness soon disillusioned me. During that time, my grandfather visited me. My inner turmoil reached out to him without words, and he assumed I needed some help. My eyes filled up with tears, and I told him that I wanted him to pray for me to find a Puran Guru, a complete and perfect master. However hard a mortal being may try, she cannot find an enlightened master. The master finds her when she is ready to tread the path, to tread his path. Shortly, my mother took me to visit Guruji in Chandigarh. From the moment I stepped into Guruji's, I could smell roses, and the sight of him flooded my eyes with tears. For the next few hours that I sat there, tears kept streaming down my eyes. Many times after first meeting Guruji, I could not control the outburst of emotions, and I simply could not understand why. Every time I visited him, I experienced a peace that passed understanding. It was as if the flood of tears was singularly transforming me by some alchemical cleansing. In the meantime, my husband began to drink more. He lost all sense of responsibility and was squandering money. I tried telling him about Guruji and also persuaded him to meet Guruji. He laughed at me, saying such gurus were a dime a dozen, and teased me about my conservative attitude. He also did not approve of my visiting Guruji. Around November 1999, my husband was posted to Lebanon uh, on a UN mission. There, his drinking problem worsened and he was diagnosed as having liver cirrhosis. Our world fell apart. I took the first flight to be with him. The doctor clearly stated that his liver had packed up and he would require a transplant within 2 years. To find a donor in such a short period was near impossibility. Even a donor was found. A transplant would have been exorbitant and in many cases unsuccessful. Doctors cautioned my husband that even a single drop of alcohol taken henceforth would prove fatal. Meanwhile, my parents kept going to Guruji and praying for my husband's life. After being in the hospital for a few weeks, we came back to Delhi. I requested him to meet Guruji. He did not come, but had all the while that he was there, he sat in a corner and complained of how tired he was and how I forced him to come. The same night I approached Guruji and I was so full of emotion that I could hardly speak. My mother and I prayed in front of him to save my husband, and Guruji replied, "How can I help him? He is a non believer." In the days that followed, I would visit Guruji alone because my husband would never accompany me. One night, after returning from Guruji's place while I was fast asleep, a sudden great force like a swooshing wind entered my room. I was so scared that I sat upright in my bed and started saying my prayers with my eyes closed. I experienced white light piercing the darkness and flooding the center of my forehead. Guruji was within that white light. He said he would cure my husband now. In the 15-20 minutes that followed, I smelt nauseating odors similar to those that emanate from operating rooms. After a while, everything cleared up and I went back to sleep. Guruji told me he had blessed my husband. 6 years have passed since that day, and my husband continues to drink relentlessly, keeping in mind what the doctors had said. My family and I are amazed at how Guruji is looking after him day and night. My husband, in his own way, believes and recognizes the gift of life given to him by Guruji. The time tested scriptures of the world all agree that before man is born, the day of his death is ascertained, and that no one can grant him even a breath more. However, the power to burn man's karma lies with the Supreme Creator. Guruji is that cosmic director and the manifestation of that supreme power who rewrote the play of my life. My family and I have experienced numerous incidents where we have called out to Guruji and suddenly seen things fall into place as if touched by a magic wand. I once had the privilege of escorting more than half a dozen friends to whom I had been singing the praises of my Guru to meet Guruji. With my limited version, I prevailed upon them to not ask for anything, though it was contrary to what I had done. When I touched the feet of my Guru, he looked at me and, to my astonishment, said that everyone came to him to ask for something. Like a divine mirror, Guruji apparently had caught the reflection of my mind, and each of my friends was blessed and their desires fulfilled. No one who comes near him ever goes back empty handed. Upon touching his feet, a businessman might be blessed with prosperity, a sick man with health, and a student with knowledge. Some are aware of the gift they receive, others ignorant of the hidden blessings. His love knows no bounds and immaterial of whether you are a believer or a non believer. His grace touches everyone. He makes no demands, asks you to keep no promises, but slowly his divine presence weaves magic and transforms you from within. Every day, people ridden with sorrow come in his presence and his grace illumines their faces like the sudden rising of sun over a sodden landscape. This was also satsang of a devotee Sangatji. The name is not mentioned here. And with this, I end this session of the reading of Light of Divinity. And I'll do mantra jap 7 times and then end it. ओम नमः शिवाय शिवजी सदा सहाय ओम नमः शिवाय गुरुजी सदा सहाय ओम नमः शिवाय शिवजी सदा सहाय ओम नमः शिवाय गुरुजी सदा सहाय ओम नमः शिवाय शिवजी सदा सहाय ओम नमः शिवाय गुरुजी सदा सहाय ओम नमः शिवाय शिवजी सदा सहाय ओम नमः शिवाय गुरुजी सदा सहाय ओम नमः शिवाय शिवजी सदा सहाय ओम नमः शिवाय गुरुजी सदा सहाय ओम नमः शिवाय शिवजी सदा सहाय ओम नमः शिवाय गुरुजी सदा सहाय ओम नमः शिवाय। शिव जी सदा सहाय। ओम नमः शिवाय। गुरु जी सदा सहाय। जय गुरु जी। शुक्राना गुरु जी।